Hey, thanks for clicking on my channel. This is John Stark from Movieguy.com, and as you might have noticed, this is going to be a review of Honk for Jesus. Yeah, it's a day and date theatrical slash Peacock streaming release. So depending on how you want to watch the film, I watched it on Peacock because why would I go to theaters when I have a Peacock streaming subscription? Yeah, I'm a blind film critic, so I got to watch this with audio description. I'm just going to assume that they recorded only one audio description track for this film, and it's for both. So I'm sure it's the same thing no matter where you go. So what is Honk for Jesus? When I first heard about Honk for Jesus, I really truly thought this was going to be like a Miracles for Heaven type of thing. I knew nothing about it. I didn't see a trailer. I actually have never seen a trailer for this film. I just assumed this was going to be a mass-produced Christian film, not one that's made by like a Christian label, but one that one of the major studios usually makes that is aimed at a Christian audience. I mean, Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown. So yeah, it felt like it could be a drama, maybe. And then I saw some reviews online, and then I learned it was sort of a mockumentary of sorts, and it was kind of serving up a little bit of an opinion on megachurches and televangelism, as well as black churches. So yeah, I'm now the blind white critic that is talking about a film about black megachurches. There's gonna be a lot of those on YouTube. Not blind, but just lots of white people are going to have lots of opinions about this film because there are a lot of white film critics. If you would like to know the opinion from a black film critic on this film, I would definitely recommend Just My Opinion Reviews. You can check out his channel on YouTube. He's a great critic. I listen to him all the time, and he is one of the critics I've already read and listened to his review of the film. So I don't really... I never let other people's opinions of things affect my reviews. So they could have loved it or hated it. It wouldn't matter. So I went into this. I'm a big fan of Regina Hall. I don't know what they just did to her in Me Time. I was hoping that this film would redeem her. I was like, I'm all for it. You know, if this is a mockumentary on religion starring Regina Hall, let's do it. I was a little hesitant because I did learn this is a first-time director, and sometimes that's a bit of a gamble, you know, to give somebody a first-time feature. This kind of feels like it could have been a safe, you know, like really easy first-time feature for somebody to have directed. So I don't really know why it didn't work. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Honk for Jesus. I'm not entirely sure the mockumentary style works for the film. I don't know why it wasn't just presented straightforward. I think it would have given the actors a little bit more range and depth, especially when you have somebody like Sterling K. Brown, who is, by all means, one of the best living actors. I'm not even going to say black actors. I'm just saying actors. He's a fantastic talent who is... now that This Is Us has ended, has just a future ahead of him, I'm assuming, in film, doing all of the roles that, you know, all of the drama. You know, we're just going to get everything from him. It was a weird sort of introduction to setting Sterling K. Brown free from TV. Because it's not a role that's meant for him. He's horribly miscast here. I have heard a lot of people say that he's very unlikable. I think he's supposed to be. I don't think you he's the mega church thing. You're not supposed to like him. This is a send up of that character, and he also they're having to rebuild their megachurch because of sexual harassment scandals that he's had. And the wife Regina Hall has stood by him, but has she really? I mean, like, watch the film play out. So he's kind of supposed to be a dick. It's just he didn't have the charisma or the comic timing or anything that matches this tone of the film. Honestly, I think this film would have been perfect for Eddie Murphy. I think this was a huge missed opportunity to put Eddie Murphy into this role and to give him something that when he could have taken it on, especially putting him opposite Regina Hall, who has a lot of comedic chops herself. I mean, I've seen Sterling K. Brown make some attempts at comedy. I know he's done some voiceover work in the comedy field, and I've heard him on Solar Opposites. He did Mrs. Maisel, but let's still be honest. He's not like a rolling an aisle hilarious comedian, and this role walks that fine line between knowing what the joke is and how to deliver it without necessarily announcing the joke. And Sterling, I don't think ever got the humor behind the role and knew necessarily what to do with it. It's a very odd role for him, and actually a huge reason of why I don't like the film is because it took one of my favorite actors and put him in a role where I actually didn't think he was good in this. It's so hard to do that sometimes with people who are talented, where sometimes I don't like the film, but I can go, oh, the actor was at least good in it. This is one of those rare times where I actually didn't think the actor was good in it. I just don't know. I don't think it clicked. I don't think anything really happened. I think he was given a role that he never should have been given, and he couldn't do anything with it. And I think it's his worst performance. I know this film has an insanely high Rotten Tomatoes score from everything I've seen, but I think there are tons of actors who would have gotten the wink, wink, nudge, nudge mockumentary style humor that they were going for. Regina Hall seems to be on board with that. She seems to kind of know when and how to deliver all of her lines in a way that is in character, but is still in a way that kind of pokes fun and keeps with the general satirical take on the film, whereas Brown does not. Sorry. I really wanted to like this, and he's a fantastic actor, but I hate to say it, he's just not good in this. But the film is okay. It does feel like it's directed by somebody who's a first-time filmmaker and doesn't really know what they're doing. I don't know if mockumentary style was necessarily the right choice for this director anyway. Maybe that would have helped Sterling. I think, honestly, taking this in a more straight take would have helped Sterling, instead of trying to make it into this weird kind of, The Office, Parks and Rec style thing. Because when it's done on film, it's worked really well for Christopher Guest. But it does take the right craftsmanship and the right cast for a mockumentary to really work well on the big screen. So and then this film just never really worked for me. I did think Regina Hall was good, and I'm grateful that she was given something in this film of purpose, and she gave a great performance, because in Me Time, she's totally wasted and the film is terrible. One of the worst films of the year. So at least this film is not one of the worst films of the year. I just wouldn't recommend the film. As far as the audio description goes, I actually didn't really care for the audio description. I felt like the audio description was a little bit of hands-off audio description, kind of like what you would get, oddly enough, with a TV show like The Office or Parks and Rec, where sometimes in sitcoms you get more of like interjectory description. Like it never really has time to give you any sort of full audio description. So it's just giving you these little like tidbits. There were times at which where I kind of felt like I was like, I kind of forgot the film was being narrated, because it felt like it didn't take full opportunity of things that were given. I don't really know how to describe that. I don't think that the narration was bad. I just think it could have been better. It kind of felt like it was doing the bare minimum. But that it didn't really help or hinder this movie. It's not an action movie. I wasn't missing fight scenes. I wasn't missing, people being murdered in some sort of horror movie. So it got away with the bare minimum on this. The biggest problem for me was just, as a film, it never really found its footing. It's not really directed well enough to serve like a mockumentary the way that you would think a film like this would be filmed. And there are 100 different actors I would have rather seen in this role than Sterling K. Brown. And there are 100 films I would love to see Sterling K. Brown in. So this just is not one of them. So that is my review. Again, I realize I'm white and I'm also blind. So take that. If you feel like I don't represent your culture and this has something, I'm not saying anything about how this serves up black churches. I'm trying to stay away from all of that, because I have no opinion on that. Do I think the film has some sort of an opinion on churches? Do I think this will offend Christians? Possibly. It doesn't go after Christianity in the way that, it doesn't make Christians feel stupid. It just makes people feel stupid for following somebody like Creflo Dollar. You know what I'm saying? Like those people that are always on TV and, they're looking for your money. Not just the people who want to give you the word, but the people who are competitively looking to build some sort of empire. This is the Righteous Gemstones in many ways, but without all of the nonsense. The Righteous Gemstones has a lot of nonsense. It's not related to anything, but this is presented more straightforward and stays on topic. But it's kind of like that. It just is. It's sending up televangelism. So if you like televangelists, then I guess you'll be offended. If you feel triggered because you attend a church where it's a giant building and thousands of people go there and it's a mega church, then maybe you'll feel a little offended. But as a general Christian, I don't think this is not making fun of Jesus. So it's not the opinion of the film. It's not trying to take down Christianity, but we'll see who stays away and who goes to see it. It's a weird film with a weird demo, and it didn't really work. So I don't think this film is going to light a fire. However, that's my opinion. And critics love it. So we will see where this film lands at the box office. I'm going to give Honk for Jesus a C-. Mostly because of Regina Hall, honestly. If it hadn't been Regina Hall, I would have given this would be a lot lower. A lesser actress would have dropped this film, but Regina Hall's really good in this. And really is the only reason to watch the film. So that's it for me. You can visit my website, maxmovieguy.com, for more reviews. You can go to the Audio Description Project, adp.acb.org, for what has narration and where you can watch it. And the adna.org, which is like IMDb for narrators because they're not allowed to be on IMDb. You can check that out and see what your favorite narrators have done. That's it for me today, and I will review something else and see you on the other side.